Bad Mormons.
I'm Mandy.
I'm Charlotte.
I'm Courtney.
And we're drunk.
Already.
As usual.
So we've put together a Zoom call for our patrons, right? We're going to be hilarious, do all the fun things. We would have come to you somewhat sober and then got drunk in the process, except for...
We had some technical difficulties. Let's just leave it at that, Charlotte.
We couldn't hear Courtney on the other end, so we stopped the recording. We started it again. We did it a few times here and there. Couldn't figure out what the hell was wrong with Courtney's audio. What did she do on her end? It's clearly her fault.
Because it's probably Courtney.
It's Courtney's fault for sure. Well, now on our 17th try of starting a new meeting, Mandy has a brilliant idea of saying if maybe our volume was down, which it was.
So cheers, everybody. Let's move on with the podcast and stop making fun of Mandy.
Mandy's drunk.
Woo!
What's everybody drinking tonight?
I started off with a iron and sand bottle of wine, but that's gone now.
Hold on, I have the video right here.
Correct.
Nice label.
It's a nice label.
Nice wine.
It's a delicious wine. But since that was in the before times, now we are drinking.
Oh yes, then
details.
We moved on to Satan wine.
Yeah.
Look at that goat head. I mean, if that doesn't just make you want to go out and do evil things and play your records backwards and sacrifice babies, I don't know what does.
Sweet. I'm drinking a rosé from France. It's on sale at Costco right now for $6 a bottle. But the funny thing is we were having dinner at Deanna's last Saturday, and their special was the same bottle I'm drinking. And if you buy it at Deanna's, it's $25. So I feel like I won.
You're a big winner.
I'm going to just go out and say, out on a limb, I'm not going to say the name of the restaurant because it's a restaurant I love, but restaurants mark their shit up. Like that's the whole name of the game is selling alcohol. The restaurant that we love and go to often, we get this bottle of Details wine. It's like $65 a bottle. It's $20 at Costco.
Right.
So, smart shopper. Get a shop smart, make sense. Get drunk before you go out to dinner.
Shop S smart.
And shop S smart. So we had planned, actually, before I get into it, let's just do a quick shout out to our patrons.
Thanks, patrons. Thanks for the money.
I mean, how cool are those guys?
God, the super coolest.
I was going through the list and I was like, this dude's cool. This chick's cool. This dude's cool. All these people are fucking cool.
How do we get such an awesome crew of awesome people?
I don't know.
I'm going to say it's me. I'm going to say it's because I'm so cool.
I'm going to say it's Courtney. I'm going to say it's our creative genius executive. Shit, now I fucked
fill in the blank.
Executive genius creative director.
That's the chicken. That's the one.
Boy, this is not
good. I don't know. Are people like to hear about twats and stuff, so
they really do.
I mean, I like hearing about twats.
Yeah.
Who's got the eyebrows now? It's me.
Big.
Listeners, just in case you're wondering what we're talking about, I'm just going to fill you in super quick, little backstory. I was on a very official call with corporate America, and one of the higher ups in the company suddenly looked a lot more flawless than usual, less wrinkles, skin tone was perfect. And I was like, that's a fucking beauty filter. And then I looked closer and I was like, eyebrows?
Shit, you have the eyebrows.
I was like, there's no fucking way. Even with plastic surgery, there's no way that her skin could just be resurfaced to look like, from the surface of the moon to like a baby's backside. And so I was like, I bet that's a fucking Zoom filter. So I started playing around. Sure enough, turns out, you can beauty filter the shit out of your face on Zoom. You can add eyebrows. You can, if you're a patron,
do I have the eyebrows guy?
No,
you haven't figured it out yet, Courtney, but you're on your way. Wait, who has the eyebrows?
I did. This is Joe's iPad.
Are you sure?
I had the eyebrows.
Now it's me. Looking fucking gorgeous.
So
no, Courtney.
So Zoom will add eyebrows for you. It'll add lipstick for you. I mean, I look like a monster. Look at Charlotte.
Fucking gorgeous.
Courtney and I both look like monsters because we don't have the proper.
I'm like Cinderella. You guys
so
are
my
like
mask fits.
Anyway, just in case you didn't know, hot tip, you can have Zoom basically like blur out all of your lines and add lipstick and eyebrows for you.
You're welcome.
Or a goatee and a mustache if you're a man.
Or if you're a
woman
girl and
who-
you're into it.
Thank you. Exactly.
We don't judge here. Should we repent for some shit? Because I know I've got a lot to repent for. Oh shit, the eyebrows are gone. I'm sorry, I'll stop.
Charlotte, stop. Take a breath.
Nice eyebrows, Mandy.
Jesus
Thanks.
Christ.
They look great, don't they? Too bad Charlotte doesn't have any eyebrows right now.
Horrible human
Hey,
being.
if anyone on Zoom is listening, Zoom product development, we need this to be able to record 2 people at once, both having eyebrows, not just one. Because then you have 2
technology's
people
there.
fighting over who gets the eyebrows.
I'm sorry, what is it gorgeous? Wait, it's not back, Mandy. Mandy, you broke it.
There, you got it back. Zoom's gonna retort with no, how about that other bitch get her own account and you guys use separate iPads to do your Zoom call on.
We actually talked about that. I was like, Charlotte, you go in your room. I'll stay in my room. We'll both have different computers on so that we can, for the sole purpose that we could just both have fabulous eyebrows.
Problem is our bandwidth won't accept it. We can't both be on a Zoom call at the same time.
It's sad state of affairs, Southern California.
Well, we're in a really poor neighborhood of Orange County.
It's true. So Charlotte, let's move on.
Okay.
You were repenting about something?
Somebody was really drunk last week at plumbing usual, but I don't really remember what we recorded. You had to remind me about some things. But mainly that Corey Feldman calls his main bitch, his wife, his mangel.
Just, I feel like
Because
that
it's
should have
his
been
main
said.
angel, so his mangel.
It should have been said originally and we neglected to say it, so we're sorry.
Apologize.
We repent.
I apologize. I repent.
It sounds like something a dog gets, like when you don't take care of it and you don't bathe it and you don't comb it.
Thank you. That's exactly what it sounds like. His mangel has flaky skin and
It's
flakes
itchy.
off and hot spots. Okay, I have one thing. I don't know if I want to repent for it. I think it probably should be considered repentance. So in our, not the last week, but the week before, we gave you guys some tantalizers about our new project, which we were calling Jolene Mother Quinn.
I still love it.
Which is a romance novel that we're writing.
Correct.
About a fictional character that resembles somebody that we're genetically similarly related to.
It's much older than us.
Much older. She's actually 19 years exactly older than me.
and it's a total coincidence.
Total
100%. The names and faces may seem familiar, but they are just coincidence.
So I just want to let you guys know we have written the first chapter, but we're at an important crossroads. So we need to get your feedback. We need to know whether or not this should be a choose your own adventure book.
God, please be a choose your own adventure
which
book.
we're totally down with and excited about, or should it be a series of different stories and different novels?
God. So if it's a choose your own adventure book, it better be like the biggest book ever, because
that's what I'm
frankly,
saying.
There's so many options.
It's gonna be a huge ass, thick ass book.
Or we could just tell you the stories as they may or may not have happened.
So you tell us.
So it's a choose your own adventure. You choose this and the story continues, or you choose this, you die, you go to hell.
Well, I was actually Googling like how to write a choose your own adventure, because I was like, I couldn't even wrap my brain around it. How do you even begin? And really, I think what happens is you begin with the ending. So you're like, here's your 10 possible endings or 5 possible endings or whatever. And then you branch basically backwards from there. Sorry, spoiler alert, in case anybody was going to try to write your own choose your own adventure
I was like,
novel.
what if you died and went to hell, but then that was an adventure where you banged Satan? I'm just saying I'd read it.
Well, okay. I love what you just said, and
Spoiler alert.
I'm gonna write it down.
Should we cut it so people don't know?
Nope.
All right.
Too late. It's already out there. Dang
Okay,
it.
spoiler alert. God, you're welcome.
Dang.
You wasted
Satan.
one of my endings.
Hell. I just want to throw it out there to the listeners. We're doing this for you guys. Would you
Does he
rather
have a fork dick?
Yes.
Oh.
We
So it's
should've had
like
a-
dick
we
like
should've had a
sprouts off into
pre-podcast
2
meeting.
or 3 dicks.
Longer one.
So it's like he penetrates you and then
Good luck coming back out. Ow.
Okay, so clearly, you guys, you can see we have a lot of ideas. Okay,
Right.
we just need to know: should we put them into one book, a choose your own adventure book, or maybe a series of like 2 or 3 choose your own adventure books, or should we draw them out into a long series of novels where you'll be just, clutching your pearls and wondering what the next move of Jolene Mother Quinn will be?
Okay, maybe I'm thinking this too much, but what if we actually had them all be little novels, but it still was a choose your own adventure, only you chose which novel to buy next. Like, I decide she wants to go down this road, and then that novel will be that one, but it'll be completely separate.
It's possible. We'll put that in the.
I don't
in
know if
the
that even makes
archives.
sense, but like,
It might. We could maybe make it make sense.
because again, there's so many, she's had so many lovers, so many options.
And one other thing I just want to mention while we're on the topic, I think we've collectively decided, unless there's a huge outrage, that we want to change Jolene Mother Quinn to Jolene Wilder as an homage to Romancing the Stone, Jewel of the Nile.
Right, correct. The Joan Wilder?
Mhm.
We read your books. We read all your books.
Mother Quinn was just a little too obvious, and I don't know. I think it'd be fun to just, give a nod to an 80s movie. I don't know.
And that movie's fucking awesome. But, in case people don't know, we're making fun of our mother. We're making fun of our mother. So there is that.
And that's the last time we're going to say it, just in case she listens to this podcast.
this is the one she finally decides to tune into.
Right.
I know, right? Like part of me in my brain is like, has she been listening all along and just not saying she's
Of
been
course she
listening to it?
is. Come on. If somebody was doing a podcast and you knew you could potentially be mentioned in it, would you not listen? I know I would.
If you were a complete narcissist.
And I am, so I would. And
Hi,
we know
Mom.
that.
Love you.
I'm so
Love
sorry.
you, Mom.
So sorry you're mad at us and you won't speak
You're-
to us, but whatever, it's
You're
fine.
not mad.
I love you.
You know, my name was mentioned in a podcast. It was great. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Doug Benson, but he has the Doug Loves Movies podcast. It's like a
yeah.
trivia thing. And he used to do the thing at the end where if like the name tags that he picks, you write a name on the back of it. He calls that person an asshole. Did you guys ever listen to the podcast where he calls me an asshole?
No.
Janelle and Nate went to Doug Loves Movies. I think he was in Idaho, and she got a hold of Joe, and she knew I loved the show, and she was like, "Do you think that Courtney would be mad at me if I put her as the asshole on my name tag?"
Awesome.
And her name tag got picked, and her person won, and her person did not win. So Doug Benson called me an asshole, and she was like, "You got to listen to Doug this week. You got to listen to Doug this week." And I was just like, "Why? What the fuck is going on?" And it took me a little while to figure it out. He says, "I don't know what the hell this means, but Courtney is an asshole."
Dude, that's fucking badass. Slightly off topic, but kind of on topic. Just a little aside. I got a message on Instagram from one of our listeners who, I've kind of messaged with back and forth a few times. And she was like, "Holy shit. I listened to your episode about the co-op," which I don't know which one that was because we talk about it a lot, but she's like, and my brother worked there. And I was like, I wonder if my brother knows you. And so I sent him a link to the podcast, and they called me on the phone like psychos. She wrote that. She's like, they called me on the phone like psychos. And we're like, those are Tiffany's sisters. Like, that's Mandy and Charlotte. We know them. We worked with them at the co-op. It's fucking Nate and Janelle, or it's Nate's sister. She's like, my brother's Nate and my sister-in-law's Janelle. And I was like, oh my God.
How did they find out about the podcast?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Fucking awesome.
She's just like a listener of the
Smallest
podcast.
goddamn world ever.
Danelle listens. Last time I think I sent one of you guys a picture of me and Janelle drinking beers several months back, and she had just started listening, and I told her I told her a couple of episodes to specifically listen to. So
we should get her on the show.
No, but
yeah,
but this one was actually like Nate's sister was randomly listening to us and had no idea that we knew Nate.
Right. That's
like,
that's
crazy. That was the trippy part about it. She was just like, oh my God, I sent this episode to my brother because I think he used to work at the co-op you guys keep talking about. Right. And then it was like, holy shit, we know each other kind of a thing. And I was like, okay, listen, girl, if you hear any stories about the beach house, in quotes, I was like, you may recognize it. Don't tell your parents.
Don't tell your parents. I've done a lot of drugs in the house.
All right. Do we have anything for current events? I actually had written a couple things
There's
down.
too many things for current events.
I just want to make a mention of the fact that Derek Chauvin, whatever his name was
chauvinistic piece of shit,
was convicted on 3 counts of murder for George Floyd, which I think is fucking important to say. I also think it's probably just a fucking show because too many people are paying attention, and I bet you that if it wasn't such a media frenzy, he would have fucking gotten away with it scot-free. But I'm drunk and I'm having a good time talking to my friends, and I don't want to talk about shit like that. But I just do want to say the motherfucker got 3 murder convictions, and I'm happy about that.
Good.
If anybody wants to add anything,
if you want to talk about current events, if you want to talk about current events and Derek's, I think it's Derek from Alkaline Trio's birthday today.
Happy birthday, Derek!
Derek, don't gram.
It's empty.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Derek.
Happy birthday, Derek. You're the coolest member of the band.
Also, the sentencing for that piece of shit dude is going to be on our friend Matt's birthday too. So, birthdays.
Oh yeah, June 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 4 days before someone else's birthday.
I know. I was like, is that Courtney's birthday? No, it's not.
You want to know when Courtney's birthday is?
Oh my God.
Oh, was that? Oh, that's what we were going to repent. We were going to repent that we didn't include you more into last week's episode when I was shithoused.
What are you holding up there,
June
Courtney?
20th.
Tell us.
Well, I'm holding up the
June
back
20th, Wild Buffalo.
Yeah, in Bellingham, Washington. Well, this is the T-shirt I got when I went to go see the Corey Feldman band on my birthday.
Yeah.
Can you guys see it? Okay.
Merch. Look at him.
Yes,
he's
glorious.
Surrounded by angels.
If you're not a patron, I feel really bad for you right now.
You're not seeing this.
Joe was like, "Oh, maybe we should get you." Joe was like, "Maybe we should get you a T-shirt at your birthday so you can remember this." And I was just like, "Yeah, because I definitely want to remember this." But anyway, I was really drunk. I remember. I have some pictures. I don't remember a lot of it. But Andrea bought this for me for my birthday. So,
yes. Oh.
I'm so fucking jealous. Like we talked about this the last time, but I literally was like, can I swing it? Can I pay the exorbitant price from a ticket to Hawaii to the mainland just to go to this show for like 1 day and then go back to work? And it turns out I couldn't. I could have. I just didn't try hard enough.
You didn't fucking try hard enough.
I'm not sure if I mentioned this in this current iteration of the recording, but our listenership has gone up by like 100 people in 1 day.
Thanks for listening.
By the way, if you're new.
Are you Corey Feldman fans?
That's what I'm getting at. I'm like, did Corey Feldman hear our episode? Because I didn't actually like tag him in anything, but I hashtagged him a few times. So I'm like wondering if he's like, oh, someone's talking about me. And like, all of his friends are listening to hear what's happening. And then all of a sudden we're going to get like 100 1-star reviews for hating on Corey Feldman.
Well, I don't actually see it. Corey Feldman. It's more of, I don't understand what he's doing, but I gave him money. Well, actually, I didn't give money to go see it because I got those tickets for free, but I would have given money to go see it.
I got dragged into a very dismal, dark, sad Corey Feldman hole on the internet, which started out with like a guy writing an article for Vice about his birthday party.
What?
And this was a couple of years ago. I think it was like 2016. And this guy was basically like, I got invited to Corey Feldman's birthday party to cover it for Vice. And I wasn't allowed to publish anything until Corey Feldman gave me the
Give you
sign off.
okay, yeah.
So he wrote a very like sarcastically toned piece, like, you know, like,
Oh,
you
shit.
wish you were that cool, kind of that
Oh,
sort of a
shit.
vibe.
Yeah, I get it.
With like some really terrible pictures of like people just looking bored in lingerie, like I have to be, like I'm paid to be at this party, I have to be here, like on their phones and shit. And because it was written so like good, if you didn't read between the lines,
right.
Corey Feldman was like, oh yeah, this is a great article, and signed off on it, which turned into like, you know, him realizing people were laughing at him and then trying to go back and say like, oh, this guy was sexually harassing all of my friends at the party. And the guy's like,
come on.
The author's like, oh, actually I'm gay. And they said, oh, he was sexually harassing me.
Okay.
Like it was like that kind of thing where everyone was just like,
that's really sad.
Like your party was sad to begin with, but you're really sad now. And then he came back and said, I'm not throwing parties anymore because of this guy who wrote the article. He's done so much damage to my brand that like I can't even host my parties anymore. So I don't know. I feel like I just took us on a deep, dark turn, but I didn't want to let the Corey Feldman shirt slip by without you guys knowing the pain that I felt reading the internet when you Google Corey Feldman.
Well, because I was a little blacked out and I don't remember recording our last episode, did I talk about the marriage boot camp episode he was on with not Chris Carter, the other Carter, Aaron Carter, and how like Aaron Carter I don't know if
I'm just gonna stop you right there real quick. One of our patrons would never forgive you for saying Chris Carter when you meant Nick Carter.
I understand, and Tiffany, I apologize so very much. But that Aaron Carter said that he was channeling Corey Haim, and he was just like, and the Feldman was just like, I felt him in you. Like, I don't think I'm telling the story very well, but like, okay, fine, just cut it.
I can't cut it. It's video.
Oh, that's right. Okay, fine. So it's marriage boot camp, only in celebrity edition. So there's Corey Feldman and his wife, and then there's and his brother, right? So, and then there is,
did you see this, Courtney?
Aaron Carter and his mom, and then there's other people that I don't recognize. And so I really only watched it for Corey Feldman and Aaron Carter, but mainly Corey Feldman. And there's a part getting near the end of the show where Aaron Carter's like, I'm channeling Corey.
Wait, they're doing a seance?
No, he's just in the kitchen. And he's like, oh, I feel him. He's coming at me. He's like, oh, I forgive you, brother, or whatever. And like, he's talking to Feldman. He's like, I feel him. I could feel Corey Haim. And it's like, it was the most pathetic thing I'd ever fucking seen. And it was so clearly like manipulated and stupid. And of course, the marriage boot camp people who are filming it are not participating at all. They're just filming it for what it is. And it's like, oh, that's sad. It's just fucking sad is what it is.
Yeah, totally sad.
Which one is this Mangel? This is me.
It's that one. It's that one right there. Right there. That's the Mangel. I just want to just for a second apologize for being so drunk.
Again.
And I feel like maybe we should take a break and hear a word from our sponsors. Perhaps our sister Tiffany is giving 1.5 stars to something.
Ah, yes. Can't wait to hear what she hates this week.
Something might be happening. And we'll be right back. God, I hate everything. Family Home Evening with Bad Mormons presents 1.5 stars. I hated it with your host, Tiffany. So you feeling angry?
I mean, I could get pretty angry, but what about 1.5 stars this week, Mandy, is my goddamn neighbor. Ron fucking sucks. His kid sucks. Actually, Ron's not that bad. He is a rapist, but he's actually really kind of a pretty solid neighbor. But on the other fucking side of me, triplex. Okay, one of them, 70-year-old, lives with her fucking son. She's agoraphobic because she was hit by a car 10 fucking years ago or something. But because of that, she has a pit bull that she cannot catch as a fucking comfort animal. How does that fucking make sense? Anyways, this dog comes into my house last year, bites my fucking cat, like $1,700. And she was just like, oh, I could never pay it. I'm like, oh, pay me $20 a month. That's fine. And she's just like, gleam in her eyes, like, yeah, for sure. And I haven't seen her since. Did she come over when my cat was attacked? No, but my one neighbor in the triplex did, and she's pretty cool too. But then the lady next to her has cats, right? She gets a new cat every fucking season because they go missing. Do they get eaten by raccoons? Probably. She doesn't take them to the vet. She doesn't feed them. She doesn't fucking give them flea medicine. I do that shit. So they're in my goddamn yard constantly because they're not fixed though. They're pissing everywhere. They're pissing in my house. Actually, that's not true. They don't come in anymore because they were pissing in my house, but they piss in my yard. And then the lady across the fucking alley from me, she fucking is a fucking mental patient, I think. She sucks. She's always wearing scrubs, but I don't think she has a job. She has 85 fucking kids. She got my phone number. She sometimes will come, like even before the pandemic, she knocks on your goddamn door and then goes like 10 yards away to yell at you about the fucking cable guy that was in her yard. But she didn't order cable, man. And they're all out together. And a guy fucking hate my neighbors. This fucking whole neighborhood gets 1.5 goddamn stars.
And scene.
It really does though, man. It sucks.
Welcome back.
I feel so much hatred in my heart. So what are we talking about this week? What's the plan?
I was racking my brain and I was like, how many of the thousands of stories that I have between Courtney and I should we tell? And are we legally allowed to tell? And I thought, so I keep a list in my phone of like potential story ideas, and a lot of them are about Vegas. And I was like, why don't we just do a blanketed Vegas episode? Like, it might be a different time in Vegas. It might be the same time in Vegas. We've been to Vegas a lot.
Right, correct. Yeah,
But you know, we have a shit ton of Vegas stories, as I feel like everybody probably does.
correct.
But ours are pretty fucking good. So
I agree.
maybe we should tell some Vegas stories. Hold on, let me pull out my spreadsheet. Let me pull up my my expense report. Wait, was that $1,000 on cocaine or was that on hookers? I forget.
Hookers and cocaine.
Okay, I just want to. Let me just tell you.
How do you know? I've never done. I don't think I've ever done cocaine with you in Las Vegas.
You haven't?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I don't think I've ever done cocaine in Las Vegas.
don't worry, we're still young. We got plenty of them. Although I feel a little weird about doing cocaine these days, just because there's so much
Fentanyl and everything.
fucking weird shit and everything now.
What-
You really got to know your regular.
I'm a drunk. I'm okay with just being a drunk in Vegas, but I'm thinking about like all the times that I've gone to Vegas, and I can only remember doing cocaine twice, and it was when I went to see Alkaline Trio with Laurie, Tara, and Andrea, and then there was another time that I went down there with Joe and Meekich, and Nate and Janelle met us down there, and Andrea drove to hang out with us. Of course, a weird how Andrea is always involved. But yeah, I think those are the only 2 times in Vegas that I've ever done it, and it's been fun.
I remember waking up in the morning. I was in Barcelona and I knew that you guys were going to that Alkaline Trio show, but I happened to be in Europe with my boyfriend at the time. And I woke up and it was like 9 or 10 in the morning. And I was like, those guys are just getting to the venue and like going to see the Alkaline Trio right now. And those guys are so fucking, like, I'm so fucking pissed off. Not there right now. Meanwhile, I'm like in this beautiful fucking whatever place in the middle of Barcelona in Europe. But anyways, I was thinking about you right as you were hanging out at that show.
That show is where we met, and eventually he became our great friend Cameron. Australian
That's
Cameron.
right. Australia represents.
Mhm.
He saw me hanging off on the side in the front row by myself on the bar, and he's like, "Get over here! Don't be by yourself." And we rocked out right in the front row on the bar, and it was great.
Yeah.
And now he's
That's awesome.
Yeah, fucking definitely shout out to Australia Cam.
Yeah. Well, we went and saw Blink 182 in Las Vegas. Remember that time we ditched our friend's wedding to go to Blink 182?
Listen, we didn't ditch her wedding. The wedding was over. We were all going out to the bar and I was like, hey, does anybody want to like jump out real quick, go see Blink-182, and then come back to the bar?
Well, no one did except for me. So me and Mandy went and saw Blink-182 with Mesquita at the Las Vegas something or other arena, and then
it was the Palms. It was at the Palms.
And then after the show, we went and met
Courtney
back up.
Even knows. We were there, and she even knows what you're talking about.
We met back up with them later.
It was the Palms. We had tickets to go, but Travis had to cancel because of blood clots. So we didn't want to refund our tickets, but we still went to the Palms. We took pictures outside of what should have been the venue, and this like nice guy's like, what are you guys doing? We're just like, take your picture with us, and he did a selfie with us, like, we played I have them too. We played some blackjacks. They had Blink-182 poker chips, and I have them still. And yeah, I got shooed away, and they deleted the pictures that I took of the I took pictures because they had like a Blink-182 on the blackjack table. And they deleted those pictures from my phone for security reasons, but I have chips.
Shit, we didn't even go inside the casino.
You shoulda. Well, at least you guys got to see the band. We didn't.
Well, here's what you didn't miss out on was like 100,000 people trying to get a cab or an Uber at the same time after the show. That was not coordinated properly.
Right.
We walked there.
Genius.
Yeah, that was fucking fun. That was actually we rolled in there super late, like we missed probably the first 3 or 4 songs, but there was nobody in line, nobody for anything. They're like, are you sure you want to go in? It's like, it's already started, and we're like, yes, we're going in.
Give me those tickets.
We get our like nosebleed seats, and we go stand next to these dudes who were like just drunk as fuck, rocking out. And I was like, oh yeah, these dudes are cool. We went in and sat next to our like seat mates or whatever, and it turns out they were these like 3 Australian dudes, which of course, if you guys know me, you know I love Australians. And so I was like feeling them out a little bit. I was like,
or should it be Australians love Matt Skiba?
That's true.
Wow.
That's very fucking
connection
true.
I didn't ever think of.
Well, and I asked the dudes, I was like, so we got a little comfortable, and I was like, so Tom DeLonge or Matt Skiba? And the guy looks at me like I was on fucking crack, and he's like, Matt Skiba. And I was like, do you want to get married? And he's like, maybe. And then we partied.
That was good.
Anyway,
that trip was the same trip though. Because you left before me though, right?
On what trip?
That Las Vegas trip. Like we didn't go together, right? It was me and Patrick flew in, and you flew in, right?
Yeah, because I had to go back to Hawaii.
And then Patrick drove away. He rented a car and went home for whatever his fucking bullshit reason was. And then Mandy flew home. So I was just in Las Vegas for like half a day by myself. And I was hanging out at the Golden Nugget, drinking. And lo and behold, here comes fucking Dog the Bounty Hunter. With his tiny little fucking dogs. Unfortunately, Beth has passed away at this point. And everybody's like, oh, it's fucking Dog. And he's just out of his mind on pills, I'm guessing. And he's like, what? Cool. Yeah, sure. And I was just like, I was checking out, and I'm like, oh, I don't even know what to do. Like, I wanted to go get a selfie for you, Courtney, but like, you could tell it was not a good idea.
Here's the funny part is Joe and I, like years before Beth was still alive, we went to Vegas. I think that we were checking in. I think we were staying at the Lux, and we're waiting in line to check into our hotel. And I turn around and I didn't like say it super loud or anything, but there's a lot of people like checking in. I'm like, Joe, check it out. It's Dog and Beth. And all these people fucking turn around and they look, and there's like, Jesus fucking Christ, it's Dog the Bounty Hunter. And I'm just like, oh my God, I've caused a riot. And like all these people start running over and taking their pictures. And I was like, oops, sorry, Dog.
I apologize.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Like their whole fucking family used to just like shop at my store all the time. And it was such not a non-celebrity thing that just makes me laugh.
It's like the same thing. It's like when you get your local celebrity and stuff like that, you know, like the novelty wears
The
off.
Ryan Stiles of the world.
Like we got Ryan Stiles here in Bellingham, and he used to come to the theaters all the time. And you know, it's like we got used to it. You know, we didn't want to make him feel like weird or awkward or like point him out or anything like. So we just treat him friendly. But we have a door person, Aaron Parker, and he has Down syndrome, and he's the sweetest guy, and he loves Whose Line Is It Anyway? And so every time Ryan Stiles would come in and like give his ticket to Aaron at the door podium, he'd be like, and like, you know, like a hug and a handshake and everything. And he was always just like so cool to Aaron, and it just like made his year.
That is
awesome.
actually really fucking awesome.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's like it doesn't take anything to be a dick to somebody,
right?
which
And
a lot of
especially if
people
you know
do.
it like just makes them super happy and like it's just be cool.
Anyway,
Oh.
were we going to talk about something or
Las Vegas.
Oh, here's what I wanted to talk about. This is what I want to talk about. I've had it on my list of things that need to be said, and tonight it's going to be said. Courtney and I one night were drinking and gambling at the Stratosphere, I want to say. I'm pretty sure it was the Stratosphere. And we were fucking wasted. And this is where my memory really kicks into play, is it's about 3:00 in the morning, and Courtney and I take a bathroom break. You know, we leave our drinks at the table. We put our little napkins or coasters or whatever over the drink. We go to the bathroom, and we're in the stalls next to each other, and we both pull our pants down, and Courtney pulls her pants down next to me. And all of a sudden, all these fucking casino chips just spread like fucking magical sparkle diamonds all over the floor. And I was like, what the fuck? And it was not just like red chips. It was a lot of black chips too.
What is a black chip?
$100.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
girl.
So they weren't black yet.
Some of them were black.
He was coloring me up green and red. It's like, no, not yet. I kept on like he caught me like hoarding like my chips. Like I was trying to hide my wins away so I wouldn't gamble them. So I was like sticking them in my pockets, and then he would be like, "You want me to let me color that up for you?" So he'd give me 2 greens, which is $50, and I'd stick them in my pocket. So like my pockets are like chipmunk cheeks, like they keep getting bigger and bigger, and I'm just like hiding money from myself. While I'm still have like all this money in front of me, you know, like to gamble with, and it's great because you know normally you don't win in Vegas, and yeah, it went and I unbuttoned my pants just fell down to the ground and chips went everywhere, and I was like, oh god damn it, thank god it's like 4:00 in the morning, it's only me and Mandy in here.
So this man who was our blackjack dealer, his name was Elgin. He was an I don't want to say elderly, but he was like an older, probably he was a very salt and peppery gray, you know, probably 55-year-old black man. And
at this time we're in our mid 20s, mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
And so he could have been easily just like in his mid to late 40s.
Right.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
He was probably 32.
Right.
I mean,
But
people gray at different areas in their
it's true.
life.
It's true. But so he was like, and Courtney and I were just like, just shit-faced and absolute noobs. And I still don't even fucking know what I'm doing at a blackjack table. I kind of know the book, but whatever. Anyway, so we would, you know, make a bet, and then the cards would be thrown down, and we would make a decision, and he'd be like, wait. Are you sure you want to do that? Like 95% of the time, he would be like, wait, are you sure you want to do that? The book says this, but blah, 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 blah. Or if we didn't know.
I think that Elgin was teaching Mandy the basic principles of blackjack. While he was, I understand the basic principles of blackjack. He was trying to teach me on when to split and when to double down. Like he was teaching me the high school equivalent of.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Who I could like name a million situations, but it was like he had a 12 showing. You know, and it's just like, oh, I want to hit on my 13. You know, he'd be like, well, you could do that, but the book says, you know, do this because, you know, and we went through this hundreds of times that night because we sat at that table from like 8 p.m. till God knows when in the fucking morning. And I kept,
And I don't know. I want to, like, I think that I'm remembering it properly. Like, I was like sliding you chips over to keep you in the game with me.
yes, absolutely, you were. Yeah, I would lose all my money, and then you would give me some chips, and then I would get a bunch of money, and then hand you some chips back, and then I would lose all the money again.
Yeah, it was a fun game.
I'm really terrible at blackjack. I'm really just terrible at gambling in general. But yeah, I remember like finally it was like work, like the luck was working out for me or whatever. I was finally like building up a reserve, and we get back to that point where we go to the bathroom together, and just like this avalanche of chips falls out of your pants from the stall next to me, and I was like, oh shit. And whatever, we like gather up our remaining self-esteem, self-confidence.
We realized it's like 4:30 in the morning, and that also, if the listeners have listened to the podcast that you did about the potted meat product in Death Valley, this was the last stop of that vacation. So we had to return the rental car that day. So we went to we had one last night in Vegas. We stayed up till like 4:00 in the morning and realized that we had to get up like in a few hours and like fly home, get to the airport and fly home. So
right.
At some point in time, it was time to color up those chips.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing that I will never fucking forget in my life, because I was like, I finally had enough chips to like color up to a black chip, and I was like, oh my god, like color me up, like it's my first black. And he just looks at me like, did you just say what I think you just said? And I was like, I don't get it. And he's like, once you go black. And then I looked at him and I was like, oh son of a bitch. Like I couldn't have set that up better. But yeah, I got my first black chip. I got my first $100 chip at that table.
I just remember like when I was just like, oh, we should probably call it a day. He says to me, he's just like, so we're gonna take all those chips out of your pockets now? Like he had seen me squirreling them away, and I was just like, yeah, I guess so.
That was so fucking fun. It was like that took all of the anxiety out of not knowing how to play blackjack and just made it fun, because he was just like, hey, don't fucking do that, dumbass, do this, without saying it exactly.
Yeah, it was fun. That's like one of the times I feel like I walked away a big winner in Vegas, because like back in that time, I think the trip for us to like book with like the airfare and the rent, splitting the airfare, rental car, and the hotels that we stayed at, I think that like we wound up spending like $600 each. And when I cashed in all those chips, I like walked away with like $750. So it's just like I completely had paid for that trip, and I was like, I can't wait to come back, Vegas.
Right. You know what's so fucking crazy now too is like I've gone to Vegas a bunch of times, obviously a bunch of times after that, and I've hung out with a lot of people who play slots, and so I was like, oh, I can see the value in playing slots or whatever, which most of the times you don't win, but like I've actually had a couple of times where it's just like in 1 second you get that $700 where it's like, oh, this is why people do it. Well, I've watched happen to Yvette a bunch of times, and I was like, how did she just win $900 on Wonder Woman? Like, I'm playing whatever, and then like, but you've watched me do it, right?
Right,
Willy Wonka.
Yeah, I got $20 from vacation. Like Chevy Chase's vacation. Yeah. I was like, yeah, $20. Woo!
You're totally less likely to win on slots, but I'm just saying, like that whole night that we did on blackjack with Elgin. Like walking away with $700 like seemed like such a big deal. And then I'm just saying, like I've once at least $700 or $900 on a Willy Wonka slot.
No,
on one.
Are you max betting? What do you?
I go right in the middle. I don't do max bet. I occasionally do a max bet if I feel like the max bet's gonna win. Not every time. Only the ones I feel, which never are the ones that win.
It's basically the slot machine telling you that your feelings are unimportant.
Right.
Can I tell you another Vegas story?
Yes, this is all about Vegas. Let's tell
Okay.
them.
So there was this one time where we all went to Vegas, and I think this was Tiffany's birthday. I recall just like being really drunk. I think we stayed at the Luxor that time. I was really drunk in the hotel room. Like one night, I really wanted cheese sticks, and I wanted room service. And Mandy was telling me, no, don't order at room service. They're going to charge you so much. And I was like, Mandy, you're not my mom. Quit telling me how to live my life. And she's like, no, Courtney, you really don't want to order cheese sticks to the room. So I threw a shoe at her head. And it fortunately didn't hit her head. And she like looked at me like, what's the fuck is your problem? I was like, I really wanted those cheese sticks. And I didn't order the cheese sticks.
You're welcome.
How much would they have been? $28? What kind of cheese? What kind of cheese stick cost? $28?
Which after this story goes into another story if I remember it. But anyway, on that trip, we decided that we all needed to get Vegas tattoos.
Oh,
and
Lord.
so we had been gambling, we've been drinking all night and everything. And at that time, my credit union had a limit on what I could pull out of the cash machines. Mm-hmm. And I had reached my limit. I think like back then it was like $200 or something. And so it wouldn't let me pull out any more money. And so I called my credit union. I was like, hey, I'm on vacation in Las Vegas and I'm trying to pull out some more money. I have enough money in my account, but like won't let me. And he's like, where did you say you were? And I was like, I'm in Las Vegas. And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to let you pull out any more money. I was like,
it's true. This is totally true.
I'm like, come on, who do you think you are? My dad? And he's just like, I think I'm doing you a favor. I was like, come on, I'm not gambling. I'm not going to gamble. We're trying to get tattoos. He's like, yeah, I'm not giving you any money. I was just like,
Jesus.
I was like,
literally the bank guy told her that.
He's like, he's just like, no, I'm going to stop this girl from making horrible mistakes and everything. And he's like, look, here's what I'll do. You got 20 minutes. You better find a cash machine. And so he gave me 20 minutes and then he allowed me to pull out another $200. And that's like I ran around, found that cash machine. And we found it. Anyway, that is the Industrial Credit Union looking out for you. With a sense of humor. I appreciate that guy. So anyway, we found a tattoo shop to go to. And I remember it was at like me, Mandy, Andrea, Tiffany, Crystal, and Laurie was there. I think that's everybody.
Yeah.
If I'm forgetting anybody, I apologize. But we all rolled to a tattoo parlor where it was $20 name day. You could get any name tattooed on you in one specific font for $20. I was prepared to get Ike's name tattooed on me. Ike was my dog, and I was prepared, but I wanted it in Old English. But he's like, "Oh, sorry, that doesn't go for the deal. It's not $20. It's got to be in cursive." And I was like, Ike would be so pissed at me if I got his name in cursive. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we all hung out at the tattoo parlor. We all got these. I think we all got tattoos, but my favorite was.
Wait, hold on. Were we even at a tattoo parlor or were we on the street? Because I'm imagining us in a gutter next to a dump.
We walked down a street into a building that was, I think you call it a tattoo hole in those days. You call it a parlor.
So we were indoors at least.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
that's
we
different from my memory.
Yeah. We were indoors, I can't. Do you remember what tattoo you got?
Yeah, I'll show it to you right now. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Is it near the turtle? Oh, it's in the turtle.
It's in the turtle. It's in the back.
It's in the turtle head.
Is that when Tiffany got everything belongs to me or some shit?
Today everything's mine.
Got a tattoo around her arm that said, "Today everything's mine," from the Blind Melon lyric.
But there's not an apostrophe, so she hates it.
It was misspelled.
Well, no,
it was not misspelled. It just had bad punctuation.
Bad grammar.
She also after she got it was just like when people would look at it when it was back before tattoos were normal culture and people always were like, oh, what does that say? And she felt like she's like, I don't know, what if people think it's like a greed thing? So. I remember that Andrea was just like, "Ooh, I'll take that kanji on the wall. It stands for naughty." another fun Vegas like drunken miss giggle too is I think we were staying at I think it was at the Stratosphere again. And we walked downstairs, we got into a cab, and we're just like, we're so hungry and we're craving Carl's Jr. Can you take us to Carl's Jr.? And he laughs at us and he says, sure. And he drives us across the street.
Dude,
Oh.
I was totally going to tell that story earlier and I got sidetracked and I forgot about it. But I was like, absolutely that one time that the Uber driver, because it was before Uber.
The
Yeah.
taxi
Driver was like, had to take us down to the corner, turn around, come back. But also, it was the strip, so we couldn't really technically cross the strip. No, we just didn't know. We just didn't know.
Oh.
That was so embarrassing. And also, I don't know if you remember this. We didn't have enough. Like they had a minimum purchase that you had to make through the drive-through, or no, it wasn't the drive-through. Oh, it was a minimum. It was a minimum for the taxi cab.
Right. No, I was gonna say that makes more sense.
So it was like we spent the $3 on the burger or whatever, and he's like, oh, I need to charge you an extra
$25, I think. Is
Yeah,
the minimum
because you didn't meet the minimum for taxi. And we were like,
you're a piece of shit.
fuck you, you motherfucker!
Why
I'm
you-
gonna puke out the side of your car.
Did you?
Well, no, but yes, but no.
Okay, that's an answer.
I puked out the side of a car. It wasn't his car. It was a car that I had rented. And my boyfriend at the time was very upset that I had puked out the side of it and made us detail it before we turned it back in.
Wow.
Anyway, what were we
Yeah.
talking
I think we brought that up in the potted meat episode where it's just like, we rented a minivan, we drove across several states, we partied in it, we drank in it. You were allowed to smoke in it back then. I think most of us smoked, and you puked out the side, it landed on the side of the car, and it's just like, that's the whole point of a rental car. You turn it back in, they make sure you didn't crash it, they wash it, they vacuum it, they clean it, and they send it to the next person. But no, we're the ones that have to hungover puking at the car wash.
And then, not only that, then they sell it to some poor schmuck. But they're like, here's a real good deal on a fucking Toyota Camry. It's only got 475,000 miles on it. You don't know somebody's puked out the side of it. You don't know there's been potted meat smeared all over the front of it.
The grill.
You just buy that car. You're like, it's a good deal. Okay, so full disclosure, that recording did go on for a while longer.
And we may or may not remember recording.
We were like, how long can we let ourselves go on this drunk to the point where it becomes not only embarrassing, because we passed that point.
Well, embarrassing is not so bad. It's the unintelligible.
Thank you. Exactly.
So, yeah, we just decided we'd cut a little bit and save it for another podcast.
We had to make a hard cut, and it's another day. It's a brand new day, and we are... Well, I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm drunk right now.
I'm trying to play catch up, so I'm the sober one this time.
It's my day off. Listen, if you're enjoying our podcast,
go leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.
boy, would we appreciate that.
Maybe a like and subscribe on YouTube.
Check out our website at fhebadmormons.com.
If you want to throw a couple bucks our way so we can buy more wine and keep doing this whole thing, you become a patron. Which, by the way, they're going to get some extra special content.
Oh, yeah. We actually recorded that whole thing on Zoom, so...
That's going to get released.
And that's a shit show.
$3, it can be all yours.
We're on all the social medias. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
Do you have any stories? Did your cousin start a cult?
Are you a sister wife?
How about your drunken debauchery times in Las Vegas? Or, Cedar City?
Let us know. Let us know, and we'll make you fucking famous.
Just go ahead and send that on over to any of our DMs on social media or fhebadmormons@gmail.com.
Charlotte, I'd let you slide into my DMs any day.
I didn't know we were sliding into that.
Let's put it in the romance novel.
Shark novel.